Hey Market Leader Masterminders, this is Steve Swartz and I wanted to shoot this quick video for you. How would you like to never be salesy, right? Or seen as pushy? Well, as you're following up with people, this is key. So stick around for this video because I'm going to talk about this right now. So I was listening to a podcast today. I was on a walk with my dog Scout, and we were out. But I'm listening to things, and I got my earbuds in, and I'm listening to podcasts. And I thought the information here was really good, so I came back and I put my little smart guy glasses on. And what I wanted to do is I wrote some notes. So if I'm reading some of these things, it's to help you. I'm not trying to sound like I'm super polished on this, but what happens here is the information that's in here could really change your business a lot. Okay, so let's say, again, if you're pushy, you're going to turn way more people off. But if Ray had a great way of framing the Ray Higdon. He said pulley, right? Which is what we're doing when we're asking questions. We're pulling the people towards us. So instead of being pushy, you want to be pulley. So that was pretty cool. And so after someone watches a presentation, you ask them the classic question, what'd you like best about it? If the person answers negatively, and positively would be, oh, great, let's get you started. I mean, you passed it, you go down that route. Which way would you like to get started? Okay, great, let's do it. And you get their details, etc. But let's say that they respond, you ask them, what'd you like best about it? And they're like, nothing. The whole thing stink. I don't like anything about it. It was terrible. Whatever, right? And you're like, well, so here's how it starts. So instead of reacting to that, going, what are you talking about, man? Like, you got to be crazy. This thing's off the charts, man. It's going to go crazy. So instead of being like that and reacting, right? Oh, right. Someone says negative, and I think oftentimes we're scared to ask someone what they like best because we're afraid of that negative answer. So why not have been through some practice? So I'm going to give you some things to practice so that you can practice it so it comes out of your mouth naturally and you start to get better. Remember, to be a professional, you must drill in practice. That's why football teams have practice for all year. Baseball teams practice, spring practice, rehearsals. People in acting, they rehearse, they practice their lines, and we need to practice these things as well. Because if you go in like an amateur hour, you're going to get smoked, and then you're going to say that this business doesn't work. And it's not that the business doesn't work; it's that what you were saying, hello, doesn't work. So let's get some good stuff here. So let's say somebody reacts real negatively to you, and they're like, nothing, like, I don't like anything about it. It was horrible, right? And you're like, oh, so here's how it starts. You say, oh, okay, I'm a little confused. Why did you want to watch the video? Why did you want to watch the video? So, okay, I'm just a little confused, curious, why did you want to watch the video, right? And let them tell you. And you can also say, what were you hoping to see? And these questions get the person to start talking, versus you start saying, you don't understand it, blah, blah, blah. That's the pushy stuff. We don't want to go there. Okay. And the worst one from being the pushy is the lamest of the lame, where, you're like, it's the guilt trip, right? And I had this when I first was introduced to network marketing. Come on, I'm your good friend. Why don't you do it? I helped you move, right? And so, I joined that deal. I signed up in that one thing for you. You got to do this one, right? Like, that's lame. That's lame. That's like amateur hour, right? We don't want to go there. So if you're to get defensive, just remember, you're amateur. Don't get defensive. You sound like an amateur, all right? Remember, okay, I'm a little confused. Why did you want to watch the video? What were you hoping to see? And I know I've used these. I mean, when I heard those questions, I was flashing back to me, like sitting in my little crappy car and calling prospects with the little the big old foam headsets. Remember those things? And like the boom mic hanging over. And and like battery life of like 3 minutes. And so calling prospects on my lunch hour, because I started to learn that these are the types of questions that you ask. So what did you want out of the video, and what were you hoping to see, right? And if they say, and then, you're not giving them that defensive stuff, okay? So you want to be asking more questions, why did you take the time to watch it? and oh, actually, what you can say here is, you can ask more questions. Well, did you take the time to watch the video? And they say, yeah, I did, right? Like, yes, I did. And you can say, all right, well, let me ask you, what in your life, has you looking at the video, right? And what is it in your life that had you watching the video? You could, in other words, this is how you do this one. And again, I'm just going from my notes. So you ask more questions, right? After you've done the work, what were you hoping to see? And then you could ask them, well, you took the time to watch the video, right? And they say, yes, I did. And say, well, what in your life has you watching that video? Had you watching the video? I mean, you could have been doing anything. You could be watching Dancing with the Stars. You could be watching your favorite show, but you took time to watch the video. Well, why was that? And listen to what they have to say, right? And this is where you get the really good stuff from them if you're in good communication with the person, right? So you could say, well, did you watch the video? Did you actually take time to watch it? And they say, yes, I did. And they say, well, what in your life has you, taking the time to watch the video? I mean, gosh, you could have done anything. Hung out with your kids, gone to the movies, watched Dancing with the Stars. What had you watching the video? Why did you watch it? And then they say, well, you know what? I need to make more money. And you can say, okay, well, if you don't do this, do you have a way to make extra money? Like if you don't join immediately, if you don't do this, do you have a way to make extra money? And they say, no, I don't. And you say, okay, is making money something that's optional? Like, is it, oh, I'd like to make more money, or is it something that you got to make more money? And if they say, I need to do it, then, like you could say, okay, is making money something that's optional or something you really need to do, right? That's a great question. Is making money optional or something you really need to do? And they can say, I need to do it. And so then you could say, okay, so you need to do it. You don't have an option. You don't have any other way, right? You don't have any other options, and it's not optional for you. Was there anything that you liked in the video, right? So you kind of name, it's not because they already told you, right? You need to do it. You don't have any other way to do it, and it isn't optional. So then you could just say, was there anything that you liked in the video? And this is where you a lot of times flush out other objections or whatever. And they'll say, you know what? Well, no, these things just never work. And you say, you know what? I understand. I hear where you're coming from. And I understand that. And, a couple years ago, I took a chance that, that the possibility that it might work. And because nothing else in my life really was. Boom, you're done right there. And you can just basically like bam, right there, right? You're relating to them, you're at their level, and you're not making up stuff. And you could use your own story, but right there, you can say, you know what? A couple years ago, I didn't know. I could even say, like, for myself, I could say, a couple years ago, I was at a crossroads in network marketing. I had a good business, but it wasn't really inspiring me. And I didn't know if joining a new company would actually be the way to go. But I didn't see building the other company as really the option. I wasn't doing it. It wasn't inspiring me. So I took the chance that being a part of a new company, part of something that was revolutionary, would actually work. Because before it was all talk. But then we actually made it happen because I had no other options of really doing and making the kind of income I'm making today. So you could come up with your own thing. But right there, and then you could just be with them and say, why don't you just take a run with this? Why don't we get started? And we're here to help you work. That's what they want to know, that you're going to be there to help them. So those are some great tips. I know it's a little long. Hopefully you'll go and watch this, write those questions down, and go back and do it, because you can stop this video. You're going to get tired of hearing me. I'm going to be backing up. You should do that. This is how you get better. Again, these are great questions. Someone's negative. You don't want to be defensive. You want to understand what's going on with them. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and share it within the group. Give your comments. Put it to use and let me know how it goes for you. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.